I gave you 4 equations. For each equation, I would like to find the vertex, focus, and directrix of a parabola. The first one in pink, y squared plus 6y plus 8x plus 25 equals to 0. So you see that there is a y square, and then according to the standard equation of a parabola, every time you see a y square, you keep that on the right. So this one I already cut and paste the standard equation I provided in the previous video, so you don't have to like go back and forth between 2 videos. So we will be following either one of these equations. But first we have to put all the y's on one side and then everything else on the left hand side. But in order to get to y minus k squared, we have to complete the square. Alright, so for completing the square, I assume everybody can do it. If you do not remember how to complete the square, you should visit my YouTube channel and then just look for completing the square. I have tons of video regarding completing the square. So the way we do this is for the quadratic equation. So complete the square. You have to find the coefficient of y, which is the b is equals to 6, and then you have to pick the b divided by 2 square, which is 6 divided by 2 square, that is equals to 3 square. Do not square out the 3. So you add this on the left side, and then you add the same thing on the right hand side, so that won't change the equation. After you add the 3 square on the left hand side becomes y plus 3 square, and then the left hand side becomes negative 8x. Negative 25 plus 9 is negative 16, and then I will factor out a negative 8. Y plus 3 square equals to negative 8, and then you have a x plus 2. And then according to the standard equation, do you see that there is a 4th built in, like right over here? So in order to grab the 4 out, so you have to put it like that. So there you have to put a 4 in there, and then the other one must be negative 2. And then this is a x plus 2, and then the right hand side no change, y plus 3 square. So as you can see that we are getting so close to the equation, right? It's actually not close, we are already done, but the next step is we have to figure out whether that is opens to the left or opens to the right. Okay, what do we know now? So now, based on the y minus k and x plus h, we can find out that the vertex is h comma k. What is that equal to? That is equals to negative 2 comma negative 3, and then this is my p, right? So this is my p, and then p is equals to negative 2. So when p is negative, this is what we know. The horizontal axis, p is less than 0, so the parabola is facing to the left. Another way that we can do this is we can draw a quick graph, and then it's facing to the left, so we have the vertex, so we can draw a parabola like that. So here is my vertex is negative 2 comma negative 3, and then so this is a negative 2 comma negative 3, and that means the focus is right over here, and then the directrix is right over here. So since p is equals to negative 2, which is 2 units, right? So we have to go 2 units to the right and then 2 units to the left. So how do we do that? So for the directrix, standing at x equals to negative 2, when you go 2 units to the left, then that will be x equals to, you are standing at negative 2, and then you go 2 units to the left, which is a p, then you have x equals to 0 as your directrix. And then your focus, you have to go 2 units to the right, so you are standing at negative 2, and then you go 2 units to the right, so which is minus 2, not plus, you have to minus 2, and then that is equals to negative 4 comma negative 3. So now I have a directrix, a vertex, focus, everything I need, and then what else do I need? Find the, yep, I got everything, and the equation as well. So the first problem is finished, and this directrix is x equals to 0. All right, moving on to the second problem. The second problem is simple, y squared equals to 3x. So the first thing that we can do immediately is we do some rewrite. There is no number right next to y. I'm going to put a y minus 0 and then square. And then you have to put a 4 in there, right? This is why I love this parabola. what is the other number? The 4, you have to place a 4 in there. In order to keep the 3, you have to do a 3 divided by 4. So that tells me that P is equals to 3 over 4. And then the X there is no number right after that, then that will be X minus 0. Then that will be X minus 0. So this one, so that matches P greater than 0, right? So P is equals to 3 over 4, which is greater than 0. Then we are looking at this formula. The parabola opens to the right. Okay, so the parabola opens to the right. And then what is the next thing that we can figure out? We should find the vertex first. So the vertex is 0, 0. So 0, comma 0 is facing to the right. Okay, so that is a lot of information. So we draw the parabola, and then this is at 0, 0. So I'm going to move that a little bit to the right. So this is at 0, 0. And then this is where the focus is. And then this is where the directrix is. How do we find the focus? To find the focus, this is 3 over 4. That is too hard to see. Let's use the different color. This is a 3 over 4 units to the right, and then 3 over 4 units to the left. So everything is very clear right now. And then the focus is you have to, based on that X value, you have to add 3 over 4. So 3 over 4 comma 0. Then the focus is at 3 over 4 comma 0. The directrix is on the left. Then you have to do X equals to standing at the 0, and then you have to subtract 3 over 4 units to the left, which is equals to negative 3 over 4. Then the directrix is X equals to negative 3 over 4. We got the directrix, focus, vertex, and the standard equation. And this is the end of the second problem. Moving on to the next problem in green. So you see the number 3 in green. Let me copy the problem for you so you don't have to look back and forth. So that is y equals to 1 over 4 times x squared minus 2x plus 5. So the way we do this is we want to grab the x squared out by just let's multiply 4 on both sides. So 4y equals to x squared minus 2x plus 5. So this one, whenever you see the x squared, you have to do your best to isolate that. So we have a 4y minus 5 equals to x squared minus 2x. Just like the first problem, we have to do a completing the square for here. We have to do a completing the square. So let's do this in a different color. So we have to complete the square. What is the number in front of x? The number in front of x, b is equals to negative 2. This is based on quadratic equations. And then you take the b divided by 2 square, which is negative 2 divided by 2 square, which is negative 1 square. And then you add that on both sides. Next line, you have 4y minus 5, save some space, x squared minus 2x. And then you add this extra quantity on both sides, plus negative 1 squared. The reason I do not square the negative 1 is because I'm going to grab the variable, the negative 1, and then pull the square outside. And then on the other side, 4y, you have a negative 5 plus 1 is equals to negative 4. And then now, based on the formula, do you see that we always keep the square on the left hand side? So now we exchange the left and right. Then we have x minus 1 square equals to 4y minus 4. We are getting so close to the equation. Oh, by the way, the first two graphs, so the graph that I gave you, first problem, this is the graph for the first problem, and then this is the graph for the second problem. And then for the third problem, we have the graph right over here. Factor out the 4, so we have x minus 1 square, and then we factor out the 4, and then you have y minus 1. Then what is the p? The p is just like almost right in front of you. The p is equals to 1. And then to continue my work, I'm going to pull this down. And then p is equals to 1, which is positive. X minus 1 squared, you have 4. And then the p is equals to 1. And then you have y minus 1. This is the standard equation. So you have p equals to 1. And then that matches to the equation I gave you in yellow. Then the parabola opens up. So the next step is we will have to write down the focus, which is 1 comma, which the vertex 1 comma 1. So the vertex is h comma k, which is 1 comma 1. And then since p is equals to 1, then we add 1 unit. And so here is my parabola. And then the vertex is at 1 comma 1. So that means the focus is right here, and then the directrix is right over there. So to find the focus, you have to go 1 unit up, that is based on the y equals to 1, and then you add a 1 unit up. So this is my p, which is 1 comma 2. The directrix 1 unit down, which is x equals to, not x equals to, y equals to, based on the vertex y equals to 1, you subtract 1 unit, then that is equals to 0, then this is y equals to 0. That is the directrix. So we have the directrix, focus, vertex, and the standard equation, and also I have the graph right over here to confirm my answer, and then the third equation is done. Let's move on to the last equation. The graph is right over here. Since I am going to move down, I'm going to copy and then paste the graph to confirm my answer. So the last question, you don't need to rewind the video. I will copy the problem for you. The last one, so this is equation number 4. That is x minus 1 square plus 8 times y plus 2 equals to 0. Keep the square on the left, x minus 1 square, and then you have that equals to negative 8, and then y plus 2. Here is my favorite part. The 4 is built in the formula, and the other number must be negative 2, and then you have your y plus 2, and then this is your p. This is x minus 1 square. We can figure out the h comma k right now. So h comma k, h is equals to 1, k is equals to negative 2. So that matches to which one? That matches to p is negative. So p is negative. So that matches to here. The parabola opens down. So here, you got the h comma k, you got the p, so you know that the parabola is facing down. So the parabola looks like that. And then here is my 1 comma negative 2. And then p is equals to negative 2, right? So here is the focus, and then here is the directrix. So the focus is based on the vertex, right? And then you have to go 2 units down, so 1 comma negative 2. When you go 2 units down, this is a p, then the focus is at 1 comma negative 4, 1 comma negative 4. So this is a 1 comma negative 4, and then the directrix, you have to go 2 units up, right? So directrix. So as you can see, the graph is confirming my answer. 2 units up, which is y equals to what? Y equals to negative 2. Negative 2 is the current position of the vertex, and then you have to go 2 units up, and then you add 2. This is a p, and then y is equals to 0, and then this is y equals to 0. So we have the directrix, and then we have the focus, and then we have the vertex. So this, and we also have the standard equation right over here. So this problem is done, and that is also the end of this video. So if you like the way I explain this type of problem, finding the vertex, focus, and directrix of a parabola, given an equation of a parabola, give this video a like. If this is something you would like to see in the future, subscribe to my channel. Trust me, it is worthwhile coming back to visit more math lesson. As always, I will meet you all in a future video. Take care.